Welcome to the Opinionated Prepper. I'm Steve. Sorry, today there's not going to be any pomp and circumstance. There's not going to be any intros, any flashy quips or anything like that. I'm almost kind of in a hurry, but not really in a hurry. But what I want to talk about is pretty important. Now, I'm sure most of you, you're already set, you're already prepared, you're looking for ideas, you're just looking for maybe reassurance on what you're doing that somebody else might be doing, to have it correctly. But just in case you don't have all the ideas, or in case you're a newcomer, or in case you want to share with somebody that's kind of on the fence, or somebody that doesn't think that prepping is a very good thing, I want to remind everybody about the 100 to 150 inches of snow in California last year in San Bernardino County, well, one of 13 counties. The major deep freeze in Texas that they had almost 3 years ago. Floods in deserts where hippies are stuck at Burning Man, but not only that. Floods in Libya, floods all throughout Egypt, major earthquakes everywhere. You don't know what Mother Nature is going to throw at us anymore. We don't know. We don't have a clue. We're looking at a strong El Nino. What are they calling it? A super El Nino, mixed with Farmer's Almanac saying that we're going to be in for a bitterly cold and a wet or snowy winter. These things you need to take serious. I'm sure the people that lived in San Bernardino County and that lived in the places that had 12 foot of snow, I'm sure they didn't think about getting snowshoes so they could get out of their house, let alone a shovel or stock up anything that keeps them warm. Northern Texas, they get more of a freeze, but I'm sure they weren't prepared for a deep freeze. The hippies at Burning Man wasn't ready for floods and to get mud stuck. All of the deserts that are having flash flooding, and China and Beijing and all of those places that are getting 3 years of rain in one day, where the rain is up to the rooftops. All of the damage is gone. People, I'm sure they didn't have an evacuation plan for such circumstances where there's no rain, then all of a sudden they're swimming to get out of their front door. Where there's no snow, and they don't know how to deal with the cold or the ice or the packed snow that's freezing them and making it impossible to leave their house, to get to the store for food or emergency services, even getting there. Pretty sure there's no snow plows there. If there are, they probably had to dust them off and crank the carburetor from 1962 because they don't get very much snow. What I mean to say is you need to be prepared for all of this. Now you might think fear-mongering, oh, you're worrying people. No, I'm trying to save people's lives. Look at all of the lives lost in Texas, all of the lives lost in Libya, all of the lives lost all over the place here recently because of natural disasters. Look at it. The majority of those people weren't prepared. You have places like Kentucky that's used to getting rain, but they've gotten so much rain in the last year after year after year. Mudslides are coming everywhere. People are losing everything, not to mention their lives. You can say, oh, prepper this, prepper that. It's life-saving things. It's a way to save the life of you and your loved ones, to be prepared. Winter is coming up. Say that you're in one of the warmest places in the world, like, I don't know, Southern California. There's history in Southern California now, so you should know anything's possible. Anything. Maybe you stock up. What do you want to get? Get survival blankets. They're not only good for you. Those tinfoil blankets when you're in a natural disaster and they rescue you, or you've had a traumatic experience, they wrap you in a foil blanket. Get those. Use those to line your house. Get silver duct tape. Let it reflect heat. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have carbon monoxide detectors. That if you are going to use fire, and this is a huge disclaimer, if you are going to use anything that can suck up the oxygen, that can create carbon monoxide, you need to be vented, and vented well. Crack a window, crack a door. Make sure you have ventilation so you wake up when you go to sleep. Saying that, make sure you have certain candles will heat things up. All right, you can use a bunch of candles. That's going to cause a lot of smoke. It's going to cause a lot of carbon monoxide, but you can use those candles, little tea candles and stuff, in tiny clay pots will heat up the clay pots. What I do, I stepped it up a little bit. I take a little bigger candle, set it inside a large metal coffee can, drilling the hole so it gets airflow, set a big coffee can full of sand on top of it, and I set a wood stove heater that's activated by heat. It has a heat sensor. You don't need batteries, you don't need electric. So if the power goes out, just the warmth of the sand, which is a sand battery, and it will release heat constantly. And trust me, it gets hot. That propels the fan so it blows the heat out to you. Get a tent to be able to create a warm room. Figure out what the term 3-dog night actually stood for. You know, if you have some dogs, let them get in bed with you. You know, cuddle up. 1-dog night, 2-dog night, 3-dog night. A 4-dog night is bitterly cold. Just hope the dogs don't have fleas. All right, get food that is going to keep you warm. Get dried fruits, get ginger, spicy stuff, stews. Drink coffee, drink tea, warm things. Ginger tea will heat you up quite a lot. Make sure you do exercises and you're not laying there lethargic. All right. I'm not a big proponent and I'm not a big fan of synthetic material. I like to go back to the Vikings. Because of PETA, thanks PETA, we can't really get animal fur, which would keep us warm and keep us dry. So we have to switch to synthetic materials because, you know, we can't get anything that the native Alaskans use. If we do, it's just way too expensive. Get wool. Get linen and wool in layers. Vikings, 3-dog nights, and they layered with linen and wool. It will keep you warm. Get scarves and everything that you need. Bundle up. And you may think that you never needed any snowshoes, but if you're in Malibu or someplace like that, I'm pretty sure you have a few rackets for a tennis court. So find a way to strap those babies to your feet. Maybe you can walk on the snow instead of falling right in. Make sure you have rolls of plastic. Make sure you have rolls of tape. Get extra towels. Get clothes that you're not wearing and seal up every crack. This stuff is important. It isn't fear-mongering. We should know by now that anything can happen in any area. The weather is haywire. If you look at Adapt 2030's video, I think the 15th, pardon me, it's talking about what has happened, why it's happening, and what else we're going to see. And it's eye-opening. Right, you need to get ready. I really urge you. I'm not trying to hustle for a thumbs up. I'm not trying to plug or prostitute myself for a like or a subscribe or any of that junk. But if you know people that say, nah, it's never going to happen here, I guarantee you the people that have lived in all of these disasters right before they lost their lives were saying the same exact thing. I live in Egypt. Why do I have to learn how to swim? Big thing. You can't say very much more. It's happened. It's happening. Disasters everywhere. Earthquakes, floods, droughts, tornadoes, hurricanes up the wahoo. Come on, seriously. If you can't stock up water, if you can't have things that generate heat, get some extra propane, get a couple of buddy heaters. You know, you want to go even more into it, get a camping stove, load up on wood, make gasifier stoves. In one of my earlier videos, I showed some gasifier can stoves that I used because I didn't want to put a fireplace in the house. So I used those, and they work just as good, and they saved me a ton of money. Get a chimina, a little outdoor fireplace. All right, cans of rubbing alcohol filled with toilet paper. Put it in the chimina. Light it. Keep track that the toilet paper doesn't burn once the rubbing alcohol evaporates out. These are little tiny things. Make sure you have a warmth kit, a survival kit, in case you're stranded in your vehicle. I'm trying to save lives by making you aware. I don't need to come up with all of the circumstances. Come on, serious. Open your eyes. If there's anybody that you care about, if you're brand new to this stuff and you're watching it now, take it seriously. Winter is coming up, and though it may be okay for some, it's going to be bad for others. And when others may be prepared, it's going to catch other people by surprise. Here in Texas, they're saying that another very big storm is possible in January, February 2024. That's Farmer's Almanac, that's not me. And the last time I heard, Farmer's Almanac is pretty good when it comes to doing that stuff. So you need to get ready. Think about yourself, think about your family, your kids, anyone that's trusting you with their lives to take care of them. It is time to wake up. I don't care about stocking food for an apocalypse. I don't care about that stuff right now. I don't care about getting knowledge. I don't care about the tools. I don't care about the stuff that you need to be able to become self-sufficient. I don't care about that. What I'm talking about now is emergency natural disaster preparedness. We are in that area. We know right now that any time throughout the year, in any corner of the world, you are liable to get disasters that you could never dream would happen in your area. It's happening now. You're not guaranteed to be safe because you're in a warm climate. You're not guaranteed to be dry because you're in a desert. You're not guaranteed to be free from tornadoes if you're up in the mountains. You're not. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if me, being in the center of a landlocked area, wouldn't see a huge hurricane come up here. I would not be surprised. You know, that's just about the only natural disaster I didn't really have to worry about. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw one right now. So, along with all of my other stuff, earthquakes and tornadoes and droughts and blizzards and floods and all of that, I'm bringing in huge high wind hurricanes because I need to take care. So I'm praying that you take this message, that you think about it, you act on it, you share it with people to try to open their eyes. If you don't do anything to save the people next to you or to save yourself, then your blood is on nobody's hands. It's you who did wrong. You were given the information. If you're not sharing with people in every way that you possibly can, whether it's to tell them or to show them statistics or to show them articles or to forward video after video of like-minded people urging them to do the same, if you're not doing that, then you have blood on your hands. But if you are doing that, you've done everything you could. And all you can do now is pray that a little message is planted in their heart and they start doing things before it's too late. You can leave me things in the comment if you want. You can say this person never paid attention, this person is just going to blah blah blah. If you want to leave something in comments, especially if you were in the midst of this weird freakish storm or natural disaster that you never in your life would expect to happen in your area. If you were part of the deep freezes, if you were part of the blizzards, the huge floods, the mudslides, if you were parts of any of that, if you're watching me from Maui right now, which I don't really get that. I mean, yeah, I understand the wildfires, but I would just think that volcanoes and stuff would get you used to heat. But there's no way that you could be prepared for that. No way you could have saw that coming. But if you were part of that, and it caught you by surprise, and it caught your entire community by surprise, I would beg you to share your story so maybe a life might get saved. It's a shame what anybody has gone through when it came to natural disasters. It cannot be replaced. It can't be forgotten about. It can't really ever be fixed from what you've lost. But maybe a silver lining might be shown, and your story could influence some people to start being proactive instead of reactive. That's what I pray for everyone, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow.